Hey guys, I'm back again with another video, and I thought I'd give you guys a little overview of iOS 10 since I've been using it for a couple of days now, ever since it came out, and there's been a lot of mixed feelings about it, but I thought I'd give you guys my thoughts on it and tell you guys if it's any good to me. So as far as the update process went, it was actually pretty smooth. Nothing went wrong. All you had to do was go to software update, and you were able to update to iOS 10. And it was actually fairly easy. It didn't break my phone or anything like what happened to some other people. But it was actually pretty smooth and only went probably only an hour before it updated all the way and I was able to use the phone. So just to let you guys know, I'm using iOS 10 on an iPhone 5C, and I got it because I wanted to test out the iOS software as well as some apps that I can't have on Android, and it's still a really good phone. It was really cheap, and I'd say it was pretty worth the money, and it still works pretty great with iOS 9 and iOS 10 now that I've downloaded it. So just to let you guys know, I'm using it on an iPhone 5C. And because this is an older iPhone, there are some features on iOS 10 that won't work on this iPhone, but still most of the features on iOS 10 is still available on the iPhone 5C and also older models. So the first thing I definitely want to talk about is the lock screen of the phone, since it's quite different than the last version of iOS, and some people really don't like it because it looks different and it looks kind of kiddish. But personally, I do like it since it's new, it's fresh, and I welcome new designs to software, especially on iOS, since it usually looks exactly the same with every update. So I kind of like the new fresh look of iOS 10. So if you swipe to the left, you get access to your widgets, which is usually how you unlock the phone. And that took some time to get used to, but after a while I got used to pressing the home button to unlock the phone, because that's how you're supposed to unlock it. But with this phone, there's no Touch ID, so it kind of sucks. You have to put in your password every time. But yeah, if you swipe to the left, you get access to your widgets, which is actually pretty cool. You get a lot of apps that you could put on here. I use the weather one a lot. But I don't know if it's with this iPhone only, but with iOS 10, it gets kind of buggy, and some of the widgets don't update and stuff like that. But you could edit them. You have to put your password first. Oops. But yeah, you have to put your password first, and you could add widgets as well as take away widgets. And there might be support for more apps later, but for now, you're kind of limited to the stock ones usually. But yeah, enough with that. But now taking a look at the new notifications of iOS 10, they are in these boxes or bubbles. And, some people don't like it as well, but I do like the new look of it. You could read it better, and it's a lot easier to see and stuff like that. But all your notifications are going to look like this now. And instead of swiping up to access the camera, all you gotta do is swipe right, and you get access to the camera very quickly, which is really useful, especially when you need the camera really fast. Instead of swiping up, you just swipe to the right, and there's your camera. So that's pretty cool. And also, if you swipe left on the notifications, you could either clear them or reply to them, depending on what type of notification it is. But yeah, that's actually pretty useful as well. But taking a look at your phone after you've unlocked it, it still looks basically the same as iOS 9, but if you swipe to the left, you get access to your widgets and stuff. And I did notice that the font of iOS 10 is a little bit more bold and easier to read, which is really good. And yeah, it looks pretty much exactly the same. Folders, when you open them, they look a little bit different. And if you swipe down, you get access to all your notification, your recent ones, as well as ones from past days that you haven't read yet and stuff like that. But yeah, they all are in these bubble type box things, and just makes it easier to read. But another neat new feature of iOS 10 is you could delete some stock apps that are on your iPhone, which is actually really useful since some of them you don't really use. So you could just delete them, like calendar, weather, stocks, reminders, and maps and all that. If you really want to delete them, you can. So to free up some space. So that's pretty cool. But probably the biggest change in iOS 10 is definitely in its Messages app. They overhauled it with lots of new features, as well as it making it look a little bit different. But they made it a lot more creative, the way that you could message people. As you can see in this conversation, there's a lot more GIFs and drawings and stuff. So they just made it really cool and more fun for you to message people, especially on iMessage. But they made it easy for you to access GIFs and pictures, so you could send it a lot more efficiently and easier. I mean, you could also search for them here. You could also, draw stuff and then send them. Also, with iOS 10, there is about 100 new emojis, I believe. Not sure how accurate that is, but I know there's a lot of new emojis for you to choose from, so that's pretty cool. And also, when you're typing, it also gives you recommendations for emojis, I believe. Like if you type in bananas, it will show up a banana right there, and you could put in a banana emoji if you want to. So that's kind of useful maybe if you just want to add a little bit more creativity to your messages. But yeah, you could see that here he has a drawing and you could view it and you could see exactly how he drew it, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I just told him making a video, so just go with it. But yeah, you could add stickers and stuff like that. And yeah, it just made it a lot more easier for you to be more creative, especially when you're messaging. And when you're sending a text to someone with iMessage, you can make it a little bit more interesting by holding down on the send key, and you could choose from a number of different effects. I don't know if you could download more, but these are all the ones that you have right now. And yeah, you could just make it a little bit more interesting and put a little flair on it. You could also put screens, which is actually pretty cool, and I think they'll automatically do it for you. Like if you say happy birthday, they'll put balloons and stuff like that, or if you say congratulations, they put confetti. But yeah, you could choose from a number of screens. Again, I don't know if you could download more, but yeah, guys, that's basically iOS 10 in a nutshell. Just a couple of new design changes to the software, as well as some overhauls to the core apps, such as messages and all the stock apps and stuff like that. But yeah, not a huge change, but it's still a pretty good change in the right direction for iOS. And yeah, tell me in the comments below if you guys like iOS 10. What are your thoughts on it? And what do you think they should change the next time around? So thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully I'll see you next week in a new video. I'll try my best to get one out. But yeah, guys, see you later.